Hello, magandang araw. Ang pag-aaralan natin ngayon ay yung third basic concept doon sa mathematical language and symbol, which is the function. Now, ito yung mga essential questions na dapat nating masagot pagkatapos ng tutorial video na ito. So una, what is a function? What are the characteristics of a function? How do you determine if a relation is a function? How to determine when a graph represents a function or not? And lastly, how is function different from a relation? In the third basic concept, which is the relation, napag-aralan natin na a relation can be represented using ordered pairs. Now, an ordered pair consists of x and y coordinates. In symbol, ordered pair is viewed as x, y. So, yung unang number dito is the x at yung pangalawa naman ay yung y. Now, sabi natin noong nakaraan na relation may be viewed as ordered pairs, mapping design, table, equation, or matrix. Now, the x values or lahat ng mga numbers doon sa unang number doon sa ordered pair natin ay tinatawag ding input, independent variable, or madalas ay domain. Doon sa y values naman, ito, ang tawag natin sa kanila ay output, dependent variable, yung madalas na tawag ay range. Okay, in this example, what makes this a relation? Given this example or numbers, what makes this a relation? So masasabi natin na ito ay isang relasyon kasi they are in ordered pair. Now, the next question is, what is the domain? What is the range? Ngayon, tandaan ninyo yung domain natin ay yung mga x. Yung range naman, yun yung values ng y. So, what are the domains? Of course, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Yun yung mga numbers na una doon sa ordered pair. Next, ay yung range naman natin ay yung values ng y. So, we have negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, and 0. Again, what makes this a relation? It is a relation because they are in ordered pairs. Next, is this a relation? Of course, this is a relation because this is a mapping design. There is an input and there is also output. Now, what is the domain? Domain is also sometimes called the input. So meaning, all the numbers in the input are the domain. So we have 4, negative 5, 0, 9, at negative 1. While in the range, yun yung output natin. So they are negative 2 and 7. So what then is a function? So a function is a relation in which every input has exactly one output. So tatandaan nyo na ang function ay relation na siya. Ibig sabihin, they can be viewed as ordered pairs, mapping design, equation, matrix, and other representation. Pero the condition is that lahat ng input ay dapat merong iisang output. Okay? Meron dapat siyang output. Next, how to determine whether a relation is a function or not. So, lahat ba ng relasyon ay function? So, alamin natin. Focus on the x-coordinates. So, ibig sabihin, magpo-focus lang tayo doon sa domain. Next, if the set of ordered pairs has different x-coordinate, ibig sabihin, magkakaiba yung values ng x natin, then masasabi natin na isa siyang function. Pero kapag yung set of ordered pairs natin ay merong magkaparehong x coordinates or domain, then it is not a function. E paano yung y? Bakit x lang yung tinitignan natin? Remember, y coordinates have no bearing in determining functions. So ang titignan lang natin ay yung mga values ng x para masabi natin if it is a function or not. Example, is this a relation? Yes, of course, this is a relation because they are ordered pairs. Now, is this a function? Now, look at the x coordinates. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. May naulit bang number? So, walang naulit na number. So, ibig sabihin, it is a function. Next, is this function? Again, look at the x coordinates. We have -1, 1, 2, 0, 0, -2. Ngayon, meron bang naulit doon sa x? Meron, which is 0. Okay, naulit ng dalawang beses. So therefore, it is not a function. Pero, is this still a relation? Relation pa rin ba ito? Definitely yes, kasi they are in ordered pairs. Ngayon, nakapag-establish tayo ng fact na lahat ng functions ay relations. Pero, hindi lahat ng relations ay functions. Let's have this example number 5. Which relation mapping represents a function? Is it choice 1 or choice 2? Now, look at the input here. 3, meron siyang output na -1. 1, output na -2. Yung input na 0, meron siyang 3. So, ibig sabihin, every input has exactly 1 output. So, sa choice 2, yung input na 2, meron siyang output na 2. But, in -1, meron siyang dalawang output, which are 2, and we have also 0. So, ibig sabihin, naulit yung -1 dito. Okay? So, pagka naulit yung input natin, it is not a function. Okay? So, therefore, choice 1 represents a function. Next example, which relation mapping represents a function? Tingnan natin dito sa choice A. Sa domain, meron tayong iisang input, pero marami siyang output. Or yung domain natin, which is 2, okay? Meron siyang pair or partner sa A. Yung 2, meron ding B. At partner din niya ang C. So, ibig sabihin, naulit ng 3 beses yung 2. So, ibig sabihin yan, hindi na ito function. Titignan natin dito sa B. Yung A meron siyang 2. It's range. Yung domain na B, ang partner niya 2. Yung domain na C, partner niya ay 2 also. Pero walang naulit doon sa domain. Okay? Though naulit itong range, which is 2, pero titignan lang natin yung domain or yung X. Okay, since walang naulit dito, then choice B represents a function. Now, paano naman kapag ka-equation yung given? For example, y equals -2x. So, malalaman natin kapag ka-function yan, kapag gagawa tayo ng table or ng ordered pair. Halimbawa, using this chart or mapping. Then, let's have values for x and y. So, sabihin natin na yung values of x natin ay 2, 1, 0, -1, -2, or pwede rin namang ibang numbers. Okay? Kahit anong gusto ninyong numbers dito. Basta wag lang maulit. Then, Substitute natin yung values ng x. Halimbawa, negative 2. Pag yung x daw dito ay negative 2, ano yung magiging value ng y? So, 2 times negative 2, that's negative 4. Next, pag negative 1 naman, 2 times negative 1, that's negative 2. Pag 0, that's 0. Pag 1, 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2, that's 4. Ngayon, titignan natin ulit doon sa mapping. For input, output, so ito yung magiging input natin, the values of x. Yan. And then the output or the values of y. Okay, 2 being partnered to 4, negative 4, negative 1, negative 2, 0, 0, 1, 2, then 2, 4. So therefore, this one is a function kasi lahat ng input ay meron siyang output at walang nauulit. Next, ito naman, determine whether the equation is a function. Yung symbol na ito, class, is a symbol for absolute value. Ibig sabihin yan, yung distance ng isang number from 0. So pag sinabi nating distance, it is always positive, walang negative. For example, absolute value ng negative 1 ay 1, absolute value ng negative 5 ay 5. Dito, using this equation, y equals the absolute value of x. So again, gagawa tayo ng table of values for x and y. So mamili tayo ng kahit na anong number for x. Sabihin natin 0, negative 1, negative 2, 1, and then 2. Ngayon, what is the absolute value of negative 2? That's 2. Absolute value of negative 1, 1. Absolute value of 0, 0. Absolute value of 1, and then absolute value of 2, of course, 2. Okay? Ngayon, i-transform natin ito into input and output. So, pag titignan natin yung input, so walang naulit, so just copy. Okay? And then, titignan natin sa output, meron lang siyang tatlong numbers which are 2, 1, and 0. So, ilalagay natin 0, 1, and then 2. Then, connect yung each partner. Yung negative 2, okay, ang partner niya is 2. We have negative 1, and then 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, and 2, 2. So notice, walang naulit dun sa input, and every input has exactly one output. So therefore, this represents function. Now let's proceed to this equation. Baliktarin naman natin. How about if we have x equals absolute value ng y? So same, gagawa tayo ng table, pero this time, yung y ang bibigyan natin ng values. Halimbawa, ang values natin ay negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and then 2. Ano ang absolute value ng negative 2? Okay, so that's 2. Absolute value ng negative 1 is 1. Absolute value ng 0, 0. Absolute value ng 1, 1. Absolute value ng 2 is 2. Now let's have an input and output. Okay? And then dun sa input natin, meron lang tayong 3 numbers, 2, 0, and 1. Next, ang in-output natin, okay, 5 numbers. We have negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. Then connect. We have 0, 0. Yung 1 natin is meron siyang negative 1. Then also with 1. Doon sa 2, meron siyang negative 2. Meron ding 2. Now, titignan ninyo sa input. Meron bang naulit or dalawa yung y niya? Meron, which are 2 and 1. Since merong naulit na input, then it is not a function. Now, let's proceed to vertical line test. Ang vertical line test, class, ay ginagamit kapag ka yung given ay yung graph mismo. Aalamin natin kung function ba siya or not. Okay? So the definition, a relation is a function if a vertical line drawn through its graph passes through only one point. So pag minove natin yung vertical line doon sa graph, at kapag ka iisa lang or isang point lang yung natatamaan niya, then it is a function. Okay? So also known as the pencil test. So ito yung steps. Take a pencil and move it from left to right or from right to left. Depende sa gusto ninyo. If it crosses more than one point, pagka maraming point yung natamaan niya, then it is not a function. Pero kapag kaisa lang, it's a function. Now let's have this example. Would this graph be function? Now, test natin using the vertical line test. Halimbawa, meron tayong pencil, and if we move this pencil through this point, then there is only one point. Okay? Then pag minove natin yan, then there is another one point. Okay? And if we move all throughout the pencil from left to right, okay, iisa lang yung matatamaan niya dito. So therefore, this graph of a function or this graph represents a function. Okay? Next, another example. How about if we have this graph? Okay? Again, there's a pencil. If we move this pencil dito sa point na to, ilan ang matatamaan? Of course, there's only one. Pero pag minove natin yung pencil natin, this area or this place, then there are 2 points being crossed by this pencil. Ngayon, sabi natin pag dalawa, would this be still a function? It is not. Okay? Now, let's have this one. Okay, when you have an imaginary pencil, and if you move it throughout this graph, ilang points ang matatamaan niya? So, definitely isa lang. Okay, tig-isa lang. So, therefore, this one represents function. How about this one? Okay, when you move the pencil like this one, okay, again, there's only one point being crossed. Tig-isa lang. So, it's still a function. How about this one? Okay, pag nakapatayo, of course, pag tinapat natin yung vertical line mismo dito, maraming points. Lahat ng points madadaanan niya. So, hindi lang isa. So, this graph is not a function. How about this? Of course, pag minove natin yung pencil, again, there's only one point being crossed. That's function. How about this graph? Okay, when we put the pencil here, there's only one point. Pero pag minove natin, there are already 2 points. Okay, one here and there's only one there. Okay, so this one is not a function. How about this one? Of course, alam natin yan, that's function. Ito. Again, pag dito yung pencil, dalawang points, so it's not a function. Lastly, circle. Definitely, this one is not a function. Okay? Next, this one's a function. Definition, suppose we have a set A and B. Yung function from A to B is a relation in such a way that yung f natin or yung function is subset siya ng relation from A to B. Okay? Satisfying the property that for each A is an element of A and the relation F contains exactly one ordered pair of form AB, and the statement AB, which is an element of function, is abbreviated f of A equals B. Okay, for you to understand this function, okay, let's have this. So, if this was the illustration for function and the general function. As you notice here, yung A natin, so meron siyang dalawang output. So this one is not a function. Na dun sa general function natin, B can have many A. Halimbawa, dito. Yung B natin, meron siyang dalawang A. But since A, all A's here has only one, okay, only one B, then this one represent function. Now, here are the types of function. Una, pag meron tayong illustration ng function na ganito, okay, lahat ng A, merong B, pero may natirang element doon sa B. And this is what we call injective. Okay, meron siyang B na walang A. So that's injective. Next, paano naman kapag ganito yung illustration natin? Okay, lahat ng B, okay, take note, lahat ng elements doon sa B ay merong A. Okay, kaya lang may nauulit. Every B has some A. Okay? Next, paano naman kapag ganito? Okay, so as you notice, lahat ng B merong A. At yung lahat ng A meron lang tig-isang B. Okay? And this is what you call the bijective. A combination ng injective and surjective. And the definition or the description here, A to B is perfectly matched. So that's bijective. And injective is also known as one-to-one correspondence. Surjective is one-to-many or onto. One-to-many kasi ito, halimbawa, tig-isa ito, tig-isa. Ito, pero marami yan. So, meaning one-to-many. Also, this one, in bijective, we have one-to-one and onto correspondence. So, just a combination of two. Okay, so let's have this exercise for you to understand what function is. So, directions, write out the defined function f on the given sets as a set of ordered pairs. Halimbawa, there are 4 different functions. So, ang function natin is from, ayan kuya, okay, so let's have this practice exercise for you to understand what function is. Directions, write out the defined function f on the given sets as a set of ordered pairs. Number 1, there are 4 different functions. So yung function natin is from AV to 0, 1. So list them all. Take note yung function natin, okay, yung function natin, hindi nauulit ang X. Pwedeng maulit dun sa Y, pero hindi pwede doon sa X. Okay? So meaning, we have A, 0, at B, 0. Now take note, hindi na ulit yung X natin, which is AB. Pero naulit yung Y. Okay lang yan. It's still a function. Okay, sir, bakit hindi pwede yung A1? Kasi kapag kinuha natin yung A1 and then dalawa na yung A. Okay, A0 tapos A1. It is not a function. Another function is A1 and then B1. Okay, so notice here, hindi na ulit yung X natin. A and B pa rin. Next, we have also A0, B1. Okay, so that's function. Another, A1, B0. So as you notice, lahat nito ay functions. Kasi yung x's natin, yung mga x natin ay hindi nauulit. This function, AB, yung x natin. Though naulit yung 1, 1. O dito naman. Okay, so same pa rin doon sa last function. So there are 4 different functions here. Now let's proceed to number 2. Write the 8 different functions in 1, 2, 3 to mn. So ang gagawin nyo lang is combine nyo tong tatlong ito doon sa m muna. So the first function then is 1m, 2m, 3m. Then yung susunod na function natin, palitan nyo yung last, okay, yung last ordered pair, yung y niya ng n. Para maging 1m, 2m, 3n. Okay, napalitan na yan. And then ililipat natin yung n dito. Okay? At babalik natin yung m. So ito yung papalitan natin. Second naman, so we have 1m, 2n, 3m. Okay? So notice walang nauulit na x, di ba? Okay? So that's still function. Next, ano sa tingin ninyo ang next? Saan natin ilalagay yung n? Doon sa una. And then m na ito. So we'll have another function 1n, 3m, 2m, 3m. Next, pagtapos na yung m, susunod naman natin yung n. Okay, so kupahin lang natin yan. So we have 1n, 2n, 3n. So same process here. Palitan to ng m. Yan. Then palitan ito ng m. Then also we have m here. So 1m, 2n, 3n. So as you notice, lahat nito ay functions. And how many functions do we have from this given situation? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay? So, ganyan ang pag-determine ng functions. Suppose we have, the directions is write the domain and range of the given functions in set notation. Okay, yung set notation natin na. So, meaning, we have to use the braces. Now, suppose we have the set 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 as the elements and set B 2, 3, 4, 5. And the function from these two sets are 0, 3, 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 2. So, it's function siya kasi walang naulit na x. State the domain and range of the function. So, una, ano ba ang domain? Ang domain natin, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Ngayon, yung range natin, we have 3. Pag may naulit, isusulat lang natin ng isa. Okay, di ba yung set natin noon? If natatandaan ninyo, pag may naulit, isulat lang ng isa. We have also 4 as our range. So 4 at 2. So since dalawa yan, sulat lang ng isa. Now if we're going to state the domain and range, pwede marami ito pero isa sa mga paraan ay the domain is the set of integers from 0 to 4. Okay? While the range is the set of positive integers from 2 to 4. Okay? How many possible functions are there in, halimbawa, A, B, C, D to 1, 2, 3? Now, that's your work and write your answer in the comment box below as part of your performance in this course. Thank you for listening. God bless everyone and keep safe always.